WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Today has been on the calendars of many families in our area for over a year.
That's right. Thousands of Mississippi National Guardsmen are being deployed. At the Columbus Armory, soldiers boarded a bus early this morning. These 35 men and women are part of the 9,000 total soldier deployment. Families and friends were there to see them off. Even though the deployment date has been known for some time, the send-off was still hard for a lot of them.
These last couple of days, especially yesterday, it starts you hitting you home, realizing in your last couple hours, not days anymore, weeks of time to spend with them.
We have FaceTime. I can send pictures every day, Skype, and there's so many ways to communicate nowadays that it would definitely make the time pass by and it'll make it a lot easier.
And the first stop for the soldiers was Jackson. They boarded a flight to Fort Bliss, Texas for additional training before heading then overseas.
It was a similar scene in Ackerman this morning as residents filled the streets.
Our Joy Talley was there and has more on a small town that's coming together as a big family to support their soldiers.
I've been here once before, back in 1990 when Desert Storm deployment. The same unit here in Ackerman, and it brings back a lot of memories. I remember back riding that bus ride through Ackerman, looking back and seeing those faces. It meant a lot then, and I'm sure it's going to mean a lot to these guys today.
Veterans, residents, family, and friends line the streets of downtown Ackerman waving hands and American flags as troops roll out of town preparing for deployment. Ackerman has a population of less than 2,000, so nearly everyone knows or is related to some of these men and women going off to fight for our country.
There's almost 50 coming from Choctaw County, and many of those from Ackerman here in the town. So it's bittersweet. You know, we know they have a reason, they have a purpose, but it's sort of tough today.
Resident Trey Bowman has 3 cousins who are being deployed. He says Monday's send-off is a great example of small-town America and showcases how his hometown is pulling together to support the troops and their families.
The guys that are deployed and the women that are deployed to know that they can leave and go fight for our freedom or this country and know that their community is going to support their family while they're gone.
Vicky Brazel's son was one of the many getting on the bus Monday. It's his first deployment, which she says makes it harder, but she is thankful for the community support.
When I first got there and I stepped out and they was playing the song Proud to be an American, and then my face got all wet and everything, and then they played a song said, "Has anybody seen my soldier?" And I don't want to cry now, but it's so easy for me to do. I just pray for the safe return of all our troops.
A tough day for families. 170 additional National Guardsmen left Starkville a little before noon today. This room at the National Guard Armory was filled with emotion, hugs, tears, and smiles. Lieutenant Colonel Rodney Bowman is the battalion commander for the 2nd Battalion 114th Field Artillery Regiment. This is his 3rd deployment, and his wife was there to send him off along with their 2 sons and 2 nephews. This will be the first deployment for both of their sons.
For them to both deploy at the same time, it's a whole different ballgame. They've been gone to when they joined the Guard, and they've done their basic training, and they've done their AIT training and stuff, and that's hard when they're gone and you don't have contact with them, but you know they're okay. So to send them off into harm's way and to send your whole entire family, it's a little bit different.
A lot of families are sad running around here, but a lot of soldiers are ready to try to get to the next step. We can't get finished till we get started. So a lot of anxiety built up for, a lot of young soldiers and family right now, but we're going to make it through today.
The couple says it was a very big day for soldiers and their families, and they are certainly thankful for the community's support. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, and no travel issues for those troops as they head out today. It was a beautiful day across the area.
Indeed, abundant sunshine. We still have sunny skies across our region. More daylight now in the evening now that we've gone through the time change. We've got low and mid 50s out there. It's been a blustery and cool day, but at least we've seen a lot of sunshine. You can see temperatures right now across the board, generally in the 50s. Now, there are a few clouds up to the north in northern Tennessee or in northern Mississippi, western Tennessee. Some of those will graze the northern counties here this evening, but not really a major concern for us. Later tonight, though, we will all go clear and temperatures will cool down into the low 30s. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
A 4-vehicle crash shuts down a busy Starkville street, but few details about the accident are known tonight. Starkville police were called to Lampkin Street between Russell and South Montgomery about 11 o'clock this morning. SPD says only 3 of the 4 vehicles involved were occupied. All but 1 patient has been treated and released from the hospital. That person was sent to another medical facility. Witnesses at the scene tell WCBI that a car traveling at a high speed hit another vehicle from behind. In a news release, SPD did not release any details about the crash, but did say that it remains under investigation. Lampkin Street is now open again for traffic.
A man dies after a Sunday night wreck in Etowah County. Lee County Coroner Carolyn Green says 62-year-old Jimmy Leathers of Manatee died when he ran off River Road and flipped his car. Deputy Coroner Sammy Reed says Leathers died at North Mississippi Medical Center in Tupelo from multiple trauma. The Etowah County Sheriff's Office is investigating that accident.
A trio in Tupelo using a stolen credit card prompts police there to seek help catching them. Take a look at this surveillance, these pictures from surveillance. Police say the stolen card has been used at several spots around the city. The credit card was reported stolen on March 3rd. If you have any information or if you think you recognize the people in these images, call Crime Stoppers at Northeast Mississippi. There's the number on your screen.
It's a problem that plagues every community, child abuse. Today, law enforcement learned new techniques about how to spot signs of mistreatment. Officers and first responders participated in a child abuse investigation training seminar in Starkville. Investigators say they're seeing more cases of abuse in our area. Sally Kate Winters Family Services reports from 2016 to 2017, the organization saw a 73% increase in the number of child abuse interviews they conducted. Part of the reason why? Police say more people are coming forward to report abuse.
A child is an innocent person, and oftentimes they can't be able to help themselves. So if we can get involved in it and know the laws up on it and help these kids to get in better homes and get in better situations, that's a plus for everybody. Everybody wins in that situation.
We're doing 2 different presentations, one on corroborating evidence, so we've got a child that discloses something and getting them to think about some of the minor details that the child might bring up in their testimony to make their story come alive. This afternoon we're doing one more of the investigative piece, especially physical abuse investigations and what the investigators can do to help the kids to make their stories come alive.
Within the past month, WCBI has reported on 3 alleged child abuse crimes.
I'm Allie Martin. Coming up on WCBI News, we'll tell you how a high school student and his trainer are overcoming adversities and making big gains in physical fitness.
Welcome back. A high school student who was bullied for his size has found a way to improve his physical fitness and inspire his trainer, who has been facing his own obstacles.
WCBI's Allie Martin has more from this inspiring duo.
It's his first official day of spring break and his 16th birthday. And Alex Johnson is at the Power Zone Gym going through a steel mace workout.
Smooth breath, brother. Well, I heard what he was doing, and then so I decided I'd give it a shot.
The Manatee High School sophomore trains with Jason Tackett, who is one of the first in the area to utilize the mace training system. The mace tool is like a dumbbell, except only one end has weights, the other is for gripping. There are many exercises and workouts you can do with the mace. Alex is a towering 6 feet 6 inches and 330 pounds. He has ADHD and has also been diagnosed with borderline Asperger's syndrome. Alex says he never had an interest in sports or school, and he was bullied a lot because of his size. But since he dropped 30 pounds with the mace workouts, he sees and handles things differently.
But it's given me the confidence to, deal with it. And then I realized some bullying was actually somewhat of people trying to make friends, but I never really realized that I had almost no social skills whatsoever.
Earlier this month, Alex competed in the Arnold Classic Vintage Games in Ohio, where he earned his first gold medal in the Mace event.
He is a humble monster.
Trainer Jason Tackett has faced his own set of obstacles. The former MMA fighter suffered a stroke several years ago, and while Jason is pumping iron again, the stroke resulted in permanent hearing loss. Although Jason is deaf, he and Alex have found ways to overcome the communication barrier.
Him being able to lip read helps a lot, because I don't think I could ever learn sign language.
He was easy to train, believe it or not. He listened, and he followed instructions.
Alex will continue spending a lot of time at the Power Zone Gym. His next big competition, Mr. Olympia in Las Vegas this September. In Itawamba County, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Alex and his trainer plan to offer weight training classes for area students who have been bullied.
Clear and cold tonight, low 30s out there. A frost or freeze certainly possible across the region, so it's going to be chilly tonight and really for the next couple of nights too. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Where were you 25 years ago? I was a sophomore in high school, and that's when we had the superstorm of 1993. And this was a big area of low pressure that developed down in the Gulf. We were on the colder side of it here. We had a pretty good swath of snow from eastern Mississippi all the way through Alabama, all the way up to New England. Some spots over in Birmingham, 1 to 2 feet of snow. You certainly know that around here. And that's how it looked from outer space 25 years ago. How about that? So we have another system going up the eastern seaboard 25 years later. This is not going to be as potent, but it will still be producing a lot of snow up here across New England over the next 1 to 2 days. For us, we've got high pressure coming on in here, so continued sunshine. But look at all the snow that will be falling in Massachusetts, maybe 1 to 2 feet of snow up to New Hampshire and Maine, way up in here. Some very heavy snow later tonight and for tomorrow. But around here, we have a lot of sunshine. It's very nice. It's been a bit blustery today, 55 degrees. The current temperature in Columbus, the wind speed from the northwest at 14, gusts over 20. But compared to a blizzard or a superstorm, at least we don't have to deal with that. It's a little bit cooler than the average, but we'll take that. All right, temperatures right now are in the 50s. We've got wind speeds generally below 20 miles per hour, still gusting to 36 there in Atlanta. That wind will slacken off tonight. We should get down into the low 30s, so a frost or freeze is possible. Tomorrow night, perhaps a few degrees colder, low 30s and upper 20s here, and probably into the low 30s again Wednesday night. So we have a freeze watch. This is for tomorrow night, but let's just say this. There could be a frost or freeze tonight, tomorrow night, or Wednesday night. Several opportunities here. If you have tender vegetation, just cover them up, plan accordingly. You'll get through it. 35 degrees, sunny at 8 o'clock in the morning, 49 at noon, 56 or so at 4 o'clock. Winds from the west and northwest at about 5 to 15 miles per hour tomorrow. Low in mid-50s north, south of 82, probably a shot at some mid to upper 50s here, but below average for our Tuesday with a lot of sunshine around here, likely lower 60s across the southern part of Mississippi and Alabama. High pressure controls our weather for the middle of the week, and as that thing moves right overhead, tomorrow night's probably going to be the coldest night of the lot. We get on the backside of high pressure later this week. Temperatures start to moderate back into the 60s, 68 on Thursday, low 70s on Friday, 70s for the weekend, but rain chances return starting Friday. A few thunderstorms possible in there as well through the weekend into next week.
All right, you already knew the Bulldogs were going dancing, but the question is, where will they be heading? More on Selection Monday next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Happy Selection Monday. For Hail State Hoops, it certainly wasn't a bubble situation. The Bulldogs gunning for a first one seed in program history, and it was just a matter of what region would Mississippi State land. Let's talk a little bit about Selection Monday going on right now. UConn has already been named the #1 overall seed. They'll be in the Albany region. Good news for Mississippi State. South Carolina is in the same region as UConn, so it will be South Carolina's turn to get through the Huskies to get to the Final Four. Also, Notre Dame was named the #1 seed in Spokane. Oregon was named the #2, so that almost guarantees that Mississippi State will be a 1 seed in either Kansas City or Lexington, but you have to imagine that Louisville will be in Lexington. So unless Mississippi State ends up at 2 somewhere, the likely spot is the Bulldogs will be the 1 seed in the Kansas City region. And as of about 5 minutes ago, there has been no official word yet. But also going on in Starkville right now, fans packing the hump for Selection Monday watch party in Starkville, trying to root on the Bulldogs as they gun for that first 1 seed in program history. For the 4th straight year, Hail State Hoops will be in the big dance. Again, it just depends on where will Mississippi State end up. Fans taking advantage, meeting the players, getting some autographs from head coach Vic Schaefer. Some of those autographs may be becoming a timeless item we'll see coming up over the next month. The men's team gears up for its first postseason basketball game Wednesday against Nebraska. The end goal of the NIT, along with gaining program momentum, is getting a chance to play in the Big Apple inside Madison Square Garden. If you know basketball, you know the Garden. And Ben Howland hopes to get his team playing where the best in basketball have played.
There's nothing more special than getting SG and having a chance to play in the Garden. That's, every great player in the history of the game has played at Madison Square Garden. That is a common denominator for great basketball players. If you are a great player, you played in the Garden at some point in your career.
And take a look at the reaction of the Alabama Crimson Tide when they found out they'll be dancing for the first time since 2012. It took Avery Johnson just 3 years to get the Tide back into the NCAA tournament. And Johnson says when he found out, he had a flashback to his interview.
The one thing that was going through my mind was when Coach Battles came to interview me for the job 3 years ago. And, he talked about, hitting the reset button on Alabama basketball, re-energizing the program. And they wanted to just know how interested I would be in tackling that assignment and mission. And that was the first thing that went through my mind.
The high school basketball season is over, but some of the best players from around our area are getting recognition for their good work. Let's take a look at the MAC announcing the North-South All-Star basketball rosters. Ja'Cory Stanfield of Okolona, Vashawn Pounds of Nettleton, and Coach Jonathan Ashley will be coaching the North team. And the North WCBI viewing area was well represented. News sites Chloe Hammock, Starkville's Jaleesa Outlaw, Parent Ingomar stars Garabeth Self and Lauren Thompson. Take a look at the rest of the list and go to our website, wcbi.com, for more. And also, my friend Joey Barnes just helped me out a little bit here. Louisville is named the #1 seed in Lexington, so that all but assures Mississippi State will be the 1 seed in Kansas City. We'll have more on that coming up at 10. Last of the weather is next.
WCBI coverage of the SEC tournament is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, advanced medicine, compassionate care, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Cold tonight, chilly for the next few days, and chilly for the next couple of nights too. So there could be a freeze tonight, the next 2 nights. Warmer by the weekend with some rain chances returning.
You're keeping your eye on Selection Monday. Any changes?
Nope,
Nothing
no
so
changes.
Far?
Still trying to find it.
Okay.
ESPN's dragging it out. All right, thanks so much for joining us, though. Have a great night, everyone.